The promise of autonomous driving is outstanding. You're going to be able to sit in your car and it'll take you to work, take you to the shop, take you home, and you won't have to do anything. But in addition to the technological hurdles, there's also regional issues. From regulations to the way we drive. Folks in Europe drive differently from people in the United States, who drive differently from people in Asia. In addition to that, you have to deal with different types of signage, lane markings, and road surfaces. It's a huge, complex problem. Mercedes-Benz is going to try to tackle that with the Intelligent World Drive vehicle. It'll be driven over 5 continents. It'll start here in Germany, head to China, then to South Africa, to Australia, and finally the United States. During the drive, it's hoping to gather a ton of data about driving all over the world. The first leg of the 5-continent, 5-month trip was from Frankfurt to Stuttgart, with Christoph von Hugo, head of active safety at Daimler AG, behind the wheel. As we drove, he manually entered interesting and new situations the vehicle encountered on the road into the system. How the car tracked lanes in construction zones, handled rain, and stopped us from hitting a car that had cut us off. But as the team moved on to China, Australia, South Africa, and finally the United States, it encountered situations that highlighted the need for automakers to regionalize their future self-driving cars. For example, in China, the team came across what appeared to be a crosswalk in the middle of a highway. A car trained in Europe and the United States will understand it as a place where pedestrians would appear. In reality, they were markings to help drivers keep a safe distance between each other. The car and the team also had to log how the car read the rather elaborate signs in Shanghai and deal with traffic lights with countdown timers. In Melbourne, Australia, the team encountered another confounding maneuver. It's called the right hook turn. See, they drive on the left side of the road, and to make a right turn, they move to the outermost left lane, wait for traffic to pass, then cut across all the lanes to turn right. It's confusing for a person, and it's downright impossible for a car. Meanwhile, in South Africa, the vehicle encountered pedestrians walking along the freeway at night, which it didn't see in any other countries. It also ended up on roads covered in sand, which illustrates the need for robust mapping technology since none of the sensors could see the lane markings. This is also an issue with snow and ice. Finally, the semi-autonomous S-Class landed in the United States, specifically Los Angeles, where it was tasked with gathering data about our gridlock before driving through the desert to Las Vegas. One thing I never really thought about while driving in the United States that Von Hugo shared with me is how confusing it is for autonomous systems to understand the 20 miles per hour while children are present sign. When the car reads that sign, it needs to understand the context around it, that it's in a school zone, that the rule is in effect while kids are in school and while they're arriving and leaving school. Is the speed limit in effect during after-hour school events? What if there's a sport event on the weekend? What about the holidays? Now, these are all issues that self-driving cars will have to deal with. All of these situations, while normal to locals, present a unique challenge for automakers. They're going from dealing with regulatory issues on how cars are built to trying to understand how they should behave in every part of the world. You can't build an autonomous car in the United States based on US laws and driving habits and unleash it in Europe. This is why Mercedes-Benz did this drive. It's a baseline for research. It'll continue to drive cars in these and other countries, but the work will be handled by local Mercedes-Benz teams. If other automakers and tech companies are smart, they're doing the same thing. It's easy to get caught up in the hype of Silicon Valley being the center of all things futuristic. But everyone has to remember, if you're building the future here, Detroit, Japan, or even Stuttgart, Germany, you're building it for everyone out there.